help us change the airwaves forever. Download it for free on the App Store or Play Store today. Live the dream. The dream starts now.
Your favorite radio just got bigger, bolder, and better connected. Live the Dream Media is revolutionizing how you stay tuned in. With our explosive growth in online radio and our brand new mobile app, your entertainment goes wherever you do. Stream your favorite shows, discover new hits, and connect with audiences across the digital landscape, all at your fingertips. Advertisers, don't miss out. Join our expanding digital network and reach engaged listeners across platforms. Download the Live the Dream Media app today and experience radio reimagined.
Thank you for tuning in to the Live the Dream Media Network. We've got an incredible slate of live podcasts waiting for you every week right here on our app. Get your morning started right with Wake Up, hosted by Christopher DeSimone, airing Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m. The momentum continues every Monday morning at 9 with the Marana and Oro Valley Experience, hosted by David Samorano and Clint Peak, followed by Truth and Tell with Blair Lametti and Summer Smeaton at 10:30 a.m. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, join us at 9 a.m. for Southwest Flavor, and don't miss Sobriety, Spirituality, and Sales every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m., Bruce Ash brings you the inside track, and we wrap up the week every Friday at 9 a.m.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Southwest Flavor. Happy Tuesday to you all. We have a great show for you lined up, and the first couple guests that we have are people from, I was going to say Southwest Flavor. I guess you're on Southwest Flavor, but they're from Soul Dog Lodge. Caitlyn and Wesley, welcome. Good morning. How are you doing?
Amazing. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So excited to be here.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Early on a Tuesday morning.
No place we'd rather be.
Sure. And you have your support right behind you. Leo the dog is right behind you, and I don't know if he's just relaxing or if he's coaching you or
He's doing what he does best, emotional support.
Okay, there
There's
you
an
go.
earpiece in my ear. He's speaking into it.
Okay.
So Caitlyn, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do at Soul Dog Lodge.
Yeah, so I am the grooming salon manager. I've been grooming for, almost 15 years now.
Wow.
I've been on the team for about 3 years. Just doing my thing over there. And then recently I have also expanded into some of my community outreach. So I am a pet CPR and first aid instructor.
Oh.
So I am hosting all of the classes that we have over at Soul Dog, just training everybody to be a first responder for their pet. So whether that's just at home, whether that's training the local community for all of our pet partners, pet walkers, dog sitters, all those kinds of things, or training other grooming salons to be prepared for if and when that emergency ever happens, especially in such a high, stress environment like grooming. We like to tell everybody that it's this fun spa experience, but just the reality of grooming is for most dogs that it's not. So just being prepared for an emergency situation when those stress hormones are running through the dog. What are you going to do if you ever have to do CPR on a dog?
Okay. Is that something kind of new, the dog CPR, the animal CPR?
I think it is relatively new.
Yeah.
So we went through training through Pet Tech. They're a great company that were actually the innovators of pet CPR. So the head of the company recognized from his human side medical,
right?
Hey, we're trained to do emergency situations for humans, and why would we not give the same for our pets who we love equally, sometimes maybe more than our human friends? So
they're the favorite kid.
yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Right. I have a background. I was an EMT and a firefighter way back in another life, so I understand the concept. I was actually a CPR instructor also.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but I've never even thought about doing CPR on a dog.
I hadn't either, and it really kind of started for me. My husband's in the military, and I'm on that track as well. We were living in Okinawa, Japan, and we rescued this sweet little 8-year-old lab. His name was Mashed Potato, and unfortunately, right after we rescued him, we found out he had cancer. And when we brought him home from that first lumpectomy procedure, it was in the middle of COVID, so there was no going off base at that time. And in addition, there's no emergency services for pets. There's no overnight pet services. And his stitches busted open that night, and he was just bleeding like crazy. And we were like panicking and didn't really know what to do. And here I am, like the experienced dog lady, and my husband's looking at me like, "What are you doing? You're panicking." And his military experience like really came in like useful at that time because he's like, I don't really know what to do, but I know I need to put pressure on this wound and stop the bleeding. Right. And kind of just seeing like how every year he goes through the same training for what to do in an emergency situation like that. It's not very in depth, but I know that I need to do something and I need to stop the bleeding. So that's what he did. And
that
kind
repetition.
of seeing that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think they're onto something. Yeah. I think we need to get involved in this. And that's kind of how I found myself going through the training when the opportunity became available to me.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Wesley, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself.
Yeah.
I am.
We don't have a written statement for you.
Yeah, I know. I am the programs coordinator, which I historically, when I came into Soul Dog, I always tell people I've always been more of a people person more than a dog person. Not that I don't love dogs, of course, because where do I work at? Obviously, for everybody watching. But I've always kind of had like a knack for getting people to collaborate and work together on bigger projects. So I run around with a chicken like my head cut off a lot of days, and a lot of times our staff doesn't quite know what I'm doing, but it equates a lot of times to bigger programs. So we have our crisis intervention program, which is Heart at Ease. So anytime we have somebody in the community that might be facing homelessness, we have domestic violence survivors, people going into the hospital, people going into rehab facilities that need short-term care for their dog. A lot of time we can offer boarding. Sometimes we can offer foster care. We can help them get medical care, and a lot of different things. So that way we can help keep the families together and they're not having to surrender their dogs. Yeah. But we also do more lighthearted things too.
Right. Some fun stuff.
Yeah. So we have our kids camp that's coming up starting in June. Okay. So we're going to have some kiddos coming to really learn basically all the different opportunities that are available in the dog field. So there'll be groomers, trainers. We're going to have the lovely ladies at Canine Freestyle coming out to do some dog dancing. If you've never seen it, Google it, look it up. Yes, it's very interesting.
Freestyle dog dancing.
Yes. And then we even have our partners over at Marana PD, the police department, are coming out with the canine unit. So it'll be very interesting for the kids to learn a lot about the different tracks they can take. We also have JTED students coming out, some interns, so we're going to have a lot of kiddos over the summer.
Very cool, very cool.
Yes,
I know that Shelley brought out the Marana PD dog unit to the Marana Chamber of Commerce a few months ago. Yeah.
We love our guys over at Marana PD.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We helped them raise some money to get a ballistic vest, which was very great. We had a lot of public support from people in the community that normally come and donate dog food that were like, ooh, a ballistic vest. Yes, let's hop on that.
Yeah.
So it's always great for us to collaborate with our partners and kind of find new ways that we can pool in money for each other and really help support each other's programs.
Right. And those dogs go home with those officers. I mean, they're with them 24 hours a day.
Yeah, they're
really attached to them.
They put that vest on, they go to work, and then they go home with that handler, and that's their dog. That's it. That's their whole life that they know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I should be so lucky.
In another life.
I know. Another life. That'll be me, hopefully.
Have you done the kids' camps before?
We have in the past, so this isn't our first time running it. We didn't run it this previous year just because we were moving to the new campus in Marana and just getting ourselves situated. But now that we've been there for about a year now, we're about ready. So we'll be hosting 10 kids the first week and then 6 kids the second week. Okay. Age ranges from 9 to 13. And it's only a half-day camp, so it's not super long, but enough time for the parents to drop their kids off and go do something fun in the morning time, and then go pick their kids back up.
That's true. And, I mean, the kids get something to do. And
absolutely.
It's a good thing to do.
They get some cool Soul Dog T-shirts. They get, like, some cool vet demonstrations, some, cool little stethoscopes and things to take home with them. So I think everybody, if they're not going into the vet field, should feel pretty confident about what their next career track will be. And then the great thing is with us partnering with like J-TED and these other things, they can kind of go with us throughout that whole journey in young adulthood throughout their career.
Right, right. Do you find that these kids that are going into the camps, do most of them have pets at home, or are some of them?
Yeah,
They do?
You'd be
Okay.
hard pressed to find one of these kids coming to this dog camp that don't have some form of a pet at home.
Right, right.
Definitely dogs, but I've heard a lot of tortoises recently, which
Oh,
has
yeah,
been
there's
an
a lot of
interesting.
tortoises out
Don't
there.
get me started. We have PTSD about the tortoises. Long story, but yeah, a lot of these kids have dogs. Even some of them, their parents are already clients, so like one or two of them come in for training already. Some of them have come in for boarding. I think actually one or two of the kids have been to previous camps, so it's always fun to kind of see the kiddos grow up.
Okay.
Some of them are also coming with best friends too, so it'll be a very lively bunch,
Right.
for sure.
Right. I think part of just having all the different pets is just because of our region and where we're at. I think if we were probably in like a bigger metropolis, a bigger city, I mean, I think there's a lot of kids that don't grow up with pets and don't have those animals.
I'm from Baltimore, so like maybe you have a dog, maybe you have a cat. I've
Okay.
never met people with like all these different
Yeah,
people have
the
barnyard
bigger-
animals.
the
and
bigger
I'm like,
animals,
where are you
right,
keeping that? Where does that go? But I mean, it's an amazing opportunity because I mean, coming from the inner city, definitely would have never seen anything like this. And if I wanted to go into the animal care field,
Right.
I wouldn't have even known where to start at. And so these kids
Ah.
definitely have a leg up that wasn't available
Sure.
to myself and a lot of our staff members too. We kind of talked about this when we were putting the camp together, where it
Yeah.
was like, I had no clue these things were available to me when I was younger, and this is going to be like mind blowing for them to be able
Yeah.
to start early like this.
And
Yeah.
just kind of like that route of the non-traditional path. Because I remember like coming right out of high school, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to go to college right away. So grooming kind of fell into my lap as something that
okay.
I can do now and work my way up to having like the financial ability to go to college. But everybody looked so down on it. You know, it was very like a negative thing in my life where, oh, you're not going to make a lot of money if you don't go to college. Well, guess who came out of 3 or 4 years making a very good salary
Sure.
with no student debt?
Right.
So what I really love about this camp is just like the exposure to the other career fields for people that maybe aren't going straight into college or need something on the side during college.
Right.
Just kind of like that like justification that it's okay to take a non-traditional path.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm in the trades, of
Yeah,
course, and
exactly.
we tell people that all the time, you know. And what we like to do is we'd like to get kids right out of high school.
Yep.
You know, the kids that probably aren't going to go to college, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
You know, bring them in. You know, they don't have any bad habits or anything. Teach them from the ground up. If they love
Yes.
it, they stay with it. If they don't like it, you know, you find out pretty quick, and then they
Yeah.
move on to something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But so with the grooming, did you just have a love for animals
Yeah,
to
so
begin with?
yeah, getting into grooming is kind of like a wild experience for me because I've always been like a real lover of animals. And when I was in high school, I needed a job. I didn't have a car at the time, so I needed something that I could, you know, get to relatively easily or walk to. And
Did
there
you
was
grow up here in
this-
Tucson?
No, I'm actually from Chicago.
Ah,
So right,
okay.
the
Oh, that's
suburbs right out
Yeah.
Chicago. So there was this little place right down on the corner in between my house and my high school. So I would either walk from school or walk from my house. And I was just washing dogs, prepping them for grooming. And we had a master groomer come join our team, and she used to
Oh.
be a grooming instructor.
Oh,
So
wow.
when she joined us, she was like, I think you've got the passion for this. Like, why don't you give it a try? So
Yeah.
I would work all day. I would clock out, and I would start school. You know, once I had graduated from high school, so I would clock into my hours of grooming instruction, and you know, just spent a whole lot of time in the salon asking questions and learning as much as I could.
Yeah.
So after it's 500 hours to be certified in the state of Illinois. So I did my
Wow.
500 hours.
Okay. That seems like a lot.
I mean, it took
Yeah.
about 6 months.
Okay.
And, you know, because I already had some experience with bathing and prepping and everything, I actually got to use all of my 500 hours to go straight into, like, actual grooming, whereas some
Okay.
people don't have that opportunity. They have to start, you know, from the ground and work their way up to that. So day one, I had clippers in my hand, and I was shaving down this dog. I remember it to this day. It was a black lab, and I got a 7 all over, which is a crazy haircut for a black lab. Usually they don't get groomed like that.
Ah,
Usually it's
okay.
more of like a bath and nail trim kind of situation. You know, so doing that, you know, and then when my husband joined the military and we went to Japan, a lot of spouses weren't able to get jobs because it's such a tiny island and it's so
Right.
saturated.
Sure.
Guess who had a job right away?
Oh, okay.
So I started my own little business. I did house call grooming. So I would take all of my stuff and lug it up the stairs and groom in the client's house, which has served me really well at Soul Dog because it was a very one-on-one experience where I was dealing with a lot of dogs that don't thrive in the salon environment where there's a lot going on.
Oh, okay.
So they were in their own home, and it really just kind of helped me to learn how to handle those like really unique dogs that have sensitivity or they're geriatric or under-socialized.
Right. Yeah, I think that's really important to teach your dog to be social, because
Yes.
there's always going to be a situation whether you have to take it to the vet or you need to get it, take it to be boarded, or
Exactly.
just your neighbor's pets or your family's pets. And
Absolutely.
they can interact with each other.
Yeah, and in this post-COVID world, this is kind of one of the things that we're seeing a lot, not only grooming, training, and boarding, but all these dogs that didn't get that socialization, and now they're having a lot of like really difficult to deal with behavior issues.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to socialize a puppy, but once they're on that adult side and they already have some of those bad habits, it's a lot harder.
Yeah. it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can still teach an old dog a new trick, but
Absolutely.
it takes more work.
Exactly. From both sides, from the parent and the dog.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is, another thing that's so great about Soul Dog is when you come in for your training, it's not so much, hey, we're just going to work with your dog and teach your dog and expect you to go home with this well-behaved animal.
Right.
We're going to involve you and have expectations of you in the training too,
Sure.
that you're putting it in and you're learning and understanding what's going on so you can continue that at home.
A lot of times we're training the human more than the dog.
Yes,
Exactly,
yes, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah, I've heard Shelley say that more than a few times.
It stands the test of time.
Yep. Well, let's take a quick sponsor break, and we will be back in just a couple minutes.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Tucson summers don't play fair. Before you spend thousands of dollars, get the facts. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We've been your local family-owned choice for 25 years. This May, we're offering a free second opinion on any licensed HVAC contractor's quote of $1,000 or more. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Call us today at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Piper Family Painting. We believe great paint does more than just change a color. It protects a home and the people inside of it. From careful prep to the final coat, our team shows up with pride, precision, and respect for your property. We don't rush, we don't cut corners. We paint it like it's our own home, because in this Tucson community, it is. Piper Family Painting, bringing new colors to the Old West.
And we're back. You're watching Southwest Flavor. Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. All right. So what else do you guys have going on over at Soul Dog Lodge?
Yeah, so over at Soul Dog, we always have some fun little activities going on. So we have puppy yoga that's coming up.
Puppy yoga.
Yes, I
Okay.
cannot stress. It's very heavy on the puppy and light on the yoga.
Okay.
Okay, so for those of you who are going to come fully decked out in your yoga pants, that's great, but expect to be completely covered in puppies. All
There's
of the,
nothing wrong with that.
No, not by
It's a
any
great way to
means.
start the day.
Yes.
Of course. All of the puppies are actually up for adoption, so they do come from our partners. So any
okay.
of the puppies that you do your downward dog with, you can actually take home with you.
Very
And
nice.
then we also have our donuts, dogs, and donations, which I kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier, but essentially it's our food and donation drive that we do.
Okay.
First Saturday of every month, we post up at a certain location, generally at Soul Dog or some of our partner places, and take food donations, dog food. We also take beds, toys,
Oh, okay.
clothes, pretty much anything you have from your dogs that you want to donate. Anything that we can take to the Marana Food Bank, we give to them. And
cool.
then anything that we can keep and pay it forward and use for some of our programs, we can generally do that, which
Right.
is very great.
I think people don't realize that there's a need at the food bank for pet food also.
That food goes so fast as soon as we
Right.
drop it off. It doesn't matter how much it is, if it's 1 pound or if it's 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It goes so fast. And I mean, even at Soul Dog, we bring in a lot of dogs to our Hearts at Ease program from, people that are in a lot of these situations.
Mm-hmm.
And very frequently, they don't come with food or toys or bedding or anything like that. So a lot of that food also goes to some of the dogs that we bring in our program.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
I'll just throw in there, it can be open bags of food too.
Yeah.
So if you buy something for your dog at home and the dog ends up not liking it, and you can't return it to the store, we will happily take it and send it on its way to the Marana Food Bank. Open, used, they're happy to take it.
Right. They're any amounts, like you said, 1 pound,
Exactly.
10 pounds.
Literally. Yeah, it goes
Exactly.
a long way. And you can't imagine how much money that actually saves for a dog when you guys are donating that food. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's a big
Dog
deal.
food's not cheap.
No,
it costs just as much as my food.
Right.
if not more sometimes.
Yeah, literally, depending on your
Yeah.
dog and the diet.
Yep.
Yeah. For our programs that we have at Soul Dog, I think it's fairly interesting, especially with like the kids camp. So we have like some people that have done like early childhood education and a lot of our staff that are good with working with kids, whereas some other people have dealt with people that have been in crisis situations before. So when we do our programs, I try to really pull together the experience as well as the different things that our staff members really care about, because
Right.
it's all of our mission, right? So when I go out and I implement a lot of these programs, it's really about pushing forward the vision of all the staff and all of our volunteers that we have over at Soul Dog. So the Hearts at Ease program is a really big one. I'm excited because we have Sadie, who is our Belgian Malinois. For those of us that are not familiar with the breed, they are high energy, super intelligent, extremely friendly, and a lot of times they tend to be service dogs, or they work in the force, so they might work in like the police department, fire department, things like that. She's only 2 years old, so she's actually a little baby. She's super sweet,
Yeah.
but by means that we won't necessarily get into, she was surrendered to us, so she now belongs to Soul Dog. So
wow.
our prime goal throughout the program is going to be to rehome her. I just recently got her spayed, so that way we can make sure that she's all up to date on all her medical care.
Right.
The goal right now is to find either a foster home for her to go into, so that way we can start working on some training with her. I think we might also potentially look into making her a service dog, if
cool.
it might be a good fit for somebody.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the goal is to get her adopted out into her forever home. And
Very
I also
nice.
keep very close tabs with her dad, too. So her dad is very much invested in making sure that Sadie goes into a home that's very loving and supportive for her going forward.
Right. What's the process for fostering a dog?
Yeah, so we have a pretty rigorous process. It's the same as for a volunteer. So you go through our general application. It's not super long. I generally ask for just resumes, things like that, just to kind of get an understanding about who you are in your previous life.
Sure.
We run a background check, mostly just to make sure you don't have animal cruelty or anything crazy in your past. I also do an interview and a home check, just to make sure your
cool.
home environment is up to code.
Right.
If you already have pets, we generally do a meet and greet beforehand. Although in Sadie's situation, she's probably a dog I would put in a home without any pets already.
sure.
So we might forego that. But It's very structured just to make sure that not only Sadie, but any dog that we place in any home is set up for success and they don't end up coming back to us. Because we're not a formal shelter, so we try to one and done it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you want. You want to find
With
a dog
anybody,
a forever home. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Definitely.
So yeah, they can always go to our website, check out additional information. Adoption process would basically be similar situation. For any of the fosters, we do of course supply food, all of the medical care. So a lot of that is funded. They're not having to come out of pocket to foster the dog, of course.
Oh wow.
And we're always available for 24/7 support. So if anything happens with a dog, of course they can reach out to me or somebody on our staff and just let us know. We even have our van if we need to take somebody to the vet for an emergency.
Very cool. Very cool. So how do people find out about Soul Dog Lodge? You know, where are you guys at? Where are your hours?
Yeah, so we are off of Tangerine. So we're between like Dove Mountain and Gladden Farms. If you know where Trico is, we're like right down the street from there.
Right.
Right
in the heart of Marana.
Exactly, right? So we're right there, like right where a lot of houses are being built. It's kind of like, it's going to be...
There's a lot lot of houses being built up there.
It's going to be very busy in that general area. So I think we'll have some great business, hopefully, fingers crossed. But no, so we are actually 24/7. Generally, Monday through Friday, we have drop-off available, as early as 7 and then as late as 5:45.
Okay.
And then on the weekends, we have a little bit shorter hours so that way our staff can enjoy a little bit of their weekend.
Sure.
But the great thing is that if anything happens with any of the dogs that are boarding overnight, since we have staff, we can always accommodate that, make sure they go to the vet, or we can always reach out to the owners if anything happens. We actually recently just had a situation where a dog fell ill overnight, and we were able to very quickly step up, get them to the vet, and it was probably a very life-saving situation for that dog. So yeah, it's very important for us to make sure that we are fully staffed around the clock.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun. We'll have to do it again.
We would love that.
Anytime.
All right. All right. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with Southwest Flavor.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
Life is all about change and growth. You grow from renting to buying, your kids grow from toddling to driving, and then you grow from working to retiring. Is your insurance agent growing through life with you? I'm your local Allstate agent, Brittany Gutman. My team and I can help you navigate all those changes through home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with the Brittany Gutman Allstate Insurance family. Call me at 520-797-7811 or email bgutman@allstate.com.
Hey Tucson, why do we accept pain as normal just because we're over 40? You know, nearly 8 out of 10 Americans suffer with back pain. At Wellness Key Chiropractic, we help people after car accidents with chronic neck and back pain, numbness tingling down the arms. If you're like me, you like to spend time outside with the family, hiking, biking, everything. Don't let that pain stop you. Wellness Key Chiropractic, we help that body move better so you can be the better version of yourself.
I've had water and mold damage in my house twice. Both times I freaked out, but I called Steamy Concepts right away. If anyone tries to tell you to use someone else, just say no way and call Steamy today.
About a year ago, we had a flood in our kitchen, and we didn't think to call anyone else but Steamy Concepts. They were very professional, and we really enjoyed working with Steamy Concepts.
Steamy Concepts accepts all homeowners insurance. Call Steamy today or go to steamyconcepts.com.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
All right, welcome back. You're watching Southwest Flavor, and our next guest, and he is the Spanish broadcaster play-by-play for the Houston Astros, Francisco Romero. Welcome, Francisco.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Are you in Houston right now?
Yes, I am, but the team's playing in Minneapolis, but I'll be broadcasting from here.
Oh, okay. So I read that you've been with Houston for 19 years.
Yeah, this is my 19th season with the team. Yes.
Okay, all right. Tell us a little bit about it. You went through a
Well,
championship, I think, a couple years ago with them, right?
well, I went through 4 World Series.
4 World Series. Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, it has been a blessing to be with the Houston Astros. I was hired back in 2008, and then when the Astros had just gone to the World Series in 2005, so a lot of those guys are with the team already.
Okay.
So, but we went through I don't know to say a dry period where the team had to start over per se.
Right.
And so
build.
I'm sorry.
They had to rebuild.
Yeah, rebuild in a way, and so but went back to the playoffs in 2015, and by 2017, we were already in the World Series, beating the Dodgers at that time in 2017, and then we went back to the World Series in 2019. We lost to the Nationals. In 21, we lost to the Braves, and in 2022, the Astros beat the Phillies to win the World Series, to win their second World Series. But it's been what they call a golden era for the Astros since 2015, because I think 7 straight seasons we were part of the American League Championship Series. So that means that we could have gone to the World Series 7 straight times. But
oh wow!
But it's been a blessing being with the Astros.
Yeah. I mean, most teams can't say that. So I mean, that's
it's an era that I think very few teams can say that. In the last 10, 12 years, the only team comparable to what the Astros have done is the Dodgers. Those two teams have really gone head to head in terms of their success, and I know even in the history of baseball, not a lot of teams can say this had that run. I mean, the Braves had a run in the '90s that was a very good run. They were in the playoffs all the time. Yeah, so it doesn't come often.
No, it doesn't. And you're right there in the middle of that. So yeah, like you said, you're very blessed on that part.
Yeah, we have front row to the games we've seen in 19 seasons. Obviously, I have witnessed the growth of some of amazing players like Jose Altuve, Jordan Alvarez, Alex Bregman, George Springer. So a lot of players that have credentials to be in the Hall of Fame have gone through in front of us, and we've seen them grow as players, as persons, as people, as human beings.
Right. So let's go back. Take us back a little ways and give us some of your history that led you here.
Well, it's a long story, but I'll make it short. I was born in Nogales, Mexico, and my dad worked in the mines at the San Manuel Magma Copper Company at that time.
Oh wow, okay.
So we, living in the border, a lot of people don't understand that it's symbiotic. What happens on one side affects the other.
Sure.
Most people speak English and Spanish. It's a neat community, being a part of the border. So that's the way it happened with my dad's and my mom's family. So my dad grew up on the U.S. border. When he got married, he went to the Mexico side, and then he worked in the U.S. all his life. Well, long story short, he brought us to the U.S. I was 12, so I started junior high, and in Tucson, and then I played ball as a kid in Mexico a lot. When I got to Tucson, didn't know where to go sign up for Little League. So summer days in Tucson, I spent playing ball outside with my brother, who's a year younger than me, and we were Dodger fans at that time. Fernando Mania was right in the middle of it. Then they had the strike, so we started listening to baseball. And so by the time I got to high school, I was a little afraid to play ball, so I didn't even try out for the team. And so, yeah, it had been 2 years since I hadn't played ball.
Wow.
So I did other sports, basketball, track, cross country. And so I finished at Pueblo High School.
Okay.
I graduated from Pueblo High School, then went on to University of Arizona. I have a degree in political science from the University of Arizona, and I was working for elected officials when I got out of the University of Arizona. I was working. During my time at U of A as a student, I worked for elected officials at the Pima County Board of Supervisors. I would answer the phones. I was a receptionist there.
Right?
I'm sorry?
You did an internship for the?
No, it was a regular job.
Oh, was it?
Because I was a student worker at the U of A, working in different departments. Every semester I would change jobs. Like I worked at the hospital, I worked for the foundation at one time, I worked for the president's office, I worked at Residence Life. And then one semester my job ended, so I applied through the newspaper at the County Board of Supervisors, and I got the job answering phones.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot. Working at the county at that time. It was the early 90s, with Raul Grijalva, Dan Ekstrom, Mike Boyd at that time. Paul Marsh was there.
Right.
And so there was I learned a lot because there was a coup in there when they took out the county administrator, and then Manaj Valles came in, and so I learned a lot. That was like one of my best schoolings, answering phones for the Pima County Board of Supervisors. I met a lot of people.
Right.
And when I finished school, I went to work for a nonprofit called the Arizona-Mexico Border Health Foundation, because I did a fellowship with the graduate college about environmental racism, about the government dumping TCE in the water in the South Side. So I did a fellowship to the graduate college. It was through anthropology and political science. So I did ethnographic research. So I wrote about it. U of A Press published it, so I did a presentation. And then the county hired me back to work for the Pima County Department of Environmental Quality. So I was working for DEQ for a while. But all of a sudden I see a newspaper clip saying that Phoenix had gotten a franchise, a baseball franchise. I'm like, I want to work in baseball.
Yeah.
So I
before
at
that,
that
did you ever
time,
think that you'd go in and work for baseball?
did I what?
Before you saw that job, did you think that you'd ever work in baseball?
No, but I had hope. I had hope to. It was always in the back of my mind. I want to work for either baseball, NFL, or NBA. But I did want it. Baseball was my first love. So I did always have it in the back of my mind. But I went through my career in public health and political science, and so by that time, a friend of mine had invited me to work at Telemundo. Just doing sports is like a hobby. Getting paid like $9 an hour for 3 hours a week. And so I would just write my sports clips and go shoot them, and then they put them on. So Mike Fader saw me, and he said, well, what do you do? And we talked, and he says, I see you with elected officials, I see you with the camera, what do you do? So I told him what I did, and then he recruited me to work for the Tucson Sidewinders.
Okay. Yep.
So I was working for the Sidewinders. So I left the county and my job with DEQ and went to work for Mike Fader, broadcasting the games at TEP at that time, and being the director of Hispanic marketing. And then, and still holding my Telemundo side job, gig. And and then we started, I approached Jim Livengood at that time too. And asked him to see if he would allow us to broadcast basketball games. So he did, and then he offered us to broadcast basketball and football.
Oh, wow.
So at that same time, I was doing that. In 1999, the D-backs hired a Spanish broadcaster who's still there, but he didn't have his visa yet. So they called me and they said, hey, would you mind broadcasting the first half of the season? So I did that while working for the Sidewinders in Telemundo. So I did. In 1999 was my first game, and my first game was against the Dodgers. And like I told you, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
trying to look for Dodger games, we found the KTUC 1400, I believe, where they were broadcasting the Dodger games. I still remember the number. I think it was 622-3344, and we would call for the scores.
Wow.
But and so my brother said, "Hey, look, the Dodgers are on the radio," and I'm like, "The Dodgers? You don't even speak English." I go, "How do you know the Dodgers?" Then we started listening to the names, Guerrero, Say, Garvey, and so we listened to Vince Scully for a few years without, nonstop. I
Right.
tell you this because my first game with the D-backs was with the Dodgers, and I got to have dinner with Vince Scully that day.
Oh,
So
wow.
it
Okay.
was pretty cool. It was pretty. So we
Yeah.
had a dinner for about 10, 15 minutes,
Mhm.
and so that was my first Major League Baseball game against the Dodgers against the D-backs for the D-backs. Then NBC bought Telemundo, so I left the Sidewinders, went to work for NBC full time, and so that's where I started as a full time, a little bit in sales, and then also in sports. And then I went to work full time in sports. So by that time, I was already doing Arizona Wildcats football and basketball. I did Arizona sports for 21 seasons, basketball and football in Spanish. And at
Wow.
one point in time, we also did women's basketball. We also did baseball and softball, a few games. So by that time, the Milwaukee Brewers called me, and I was doing all Milwaukee Brewers home weekend games in Spanish in Milwaukee. Then I started doing some games for the Twins and also for the Reds. And then Telemundo moved their operations to Phoenix, so I moved to Phoenix. And then I started doing Arizona Cardinals halftime report.
Oh,
So I was
nice.
doing all that, and I still got an award at Telemundo for perfect attendance. So it all worked out.
Right. Right.
So by 2007, the Astros contacted me, and we started with the interview process and the application process. And then in 2008, I interviewed with the Twins and with the Astros for a full-time job. But with the Twins was broadcaster and director of Hispanic marketing, but I wanted to be a full-time broadcaster. So I said no to the Twins, waited for the Astros, and they offered me the job in March of 2008 while being in Washington with the Arizona Wildcats in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
I said, yes, so I took that job in 2008, and ever since then, I've been with the Astros. And I would go back and forth. I would do the baseball season in Houston. I would go back to Tucson because I have a home in Sahuarita, and do the Wildcats football and basketball season, then come back to Houston. But since 2021, since right after COVID, we're full-time in Houston, and here working with the Astros full-time. I mean, I've been a full-time employee since I got the job in 2008, but we're living full-time in Houston now, yeah. So that's my story in as short as I could put it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how do you like Houston compared to Tucson? I mean, it's a much larger city.
It's Tucson's a very special place. I'm not going to deny that, and we still have a home there. But we love Houston. There's everything you can ask for in Houston: schools, jobs. My wife works at Rice University,
Oh.
and so my daughter's going to college in Houston, and so we love it. It's more humid, but I like humidity, and here at 96 degrees, it's you can't go outside 98 because it's too humid. But
Yeah.
I still try to walk in that weather. But we really like it. We like the city a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been to Houston several times, and when you walk off the plane, that humidity just hits you.
Yeah, you feel it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, you
So
can. So in your early days, you're listening to Vin Scully. Did that shape how you were doing your broadcasts when you were early on in your career?
well, I didn't know it was shaping me. I also listened to Jaime and Rene Cardenas in Spanish because we would listen to Jaime first before we moved to Tucson. Then we couldn't listen to Jaime because they didn't know where he was at, the longtime broadcaster. Then I listened to Vince Scully. Then we went back listening to Jaime. So you have your own style, but you
Sure.
kind of I don't want to say model, but from hearing them a lot, listening to them a lot, you kind of understand what the format, the process of broadcasting is.
Right. Right. And tell us a little bit about just. I think it's interesting that you do so many different sports. Tell us about broadcasting, different sports throughout the
You know,
year.
it's baseball. I really like doing baseball. I mean, I've been doing it for a long time,
Hmm.
but I love doing basketball, especially Arizona basketball.
Right.
It's to me that only 5 against 5. It goes by quick. You can't take your eyes off the ball or the
Yeah.
players. It's pretty cool. And I played basketball, so it's pretty nice. I really like broadcasting it, especially with the athletes Arizona has had for in its history.
Right.
In football, I didn't play football, so I had to study the game. But I really like football because after the first quarter, I mean, I don't have a playbook in front of me, but after the first quarter, you see formations and you listen to interviews and you talk to the players, so you kind of know figure out what they're gonna do. So I think it's a lot of fun to broadcast footballs. The plays average about 8 seconds per play, so you need time for you to get excited I really enjoy. It's a lot of fun broadcasting football.
Right. Right. Is it a lot of studying beforehand? Just do you study the opponent also so that you know their key players and kind of how they run their offense or their defense?
Yeah, in college and pro sports, it's very neat that, for instance, in baseball, when I get to my booth, I already have my game notes there.
Okay.
Game notes for both teams. We have the media guide as a backup. And then the other thing is we get there early enough so we can talk to the players. And then for baseball, every day the manager has an informal conversation with the press. And you can ask them everything before and after the game.
Right.
And the clubhouse is open about an hour during before game time. So you talk to the players. And it's not always about the game. Sometimes they tell you stories. Sometimes conversations are conversations off the field, and I use all that in my broadcast, to enrich the broadcast. There's
Right.
nothing, obviously I'm not going to use anything that'll make the player look bad or anything like that. On the contrary, we want to make it fun, informative, and not boring. So we
Right.
use a lot of that. And so those stories are great, and that's why it's important, when you're there. We talk to the manager. Sometimes you talk to other coaches. You talk to the interpreters. You talk to the trainers. And so before game time, there's a lot of information. Then you talk to your colleagues, the other reporters. Well, so my routine is get to the ballpark, go to the manager's meeting, or sometimes if I have an interview, I like to do my interviews way before game time, and I like to do them one-on-one. So since I work there, I request for the players to take them to the press conference room. So I do one-on-ones there with them. Sometimes I do radio, my background is in television, so I have my own equipment, my camera, my microphone. So sometimes I do my own interviews, take my tripod, put it there, and just talk to the players as they come. So there's a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
And I use that for the website, for our social media also sometimes. But it's so that's basically how I prepare. And so in baseball, it's like a Mexican novela, Mexican soap opera. There's sometimes there's drama, sometimes there's fun, sometimes there's stories, sometimes players have kids. Sometimes it's a lot of fun, and to follow the team that way.
Yeah.
So in football, college, and basketball, they give us great notes and obviously the press conferences after the game. So there's a lot of information that we can gather to talk about and enrich the listener.
Okay. All right. During the football and basketball season, are you here in Tucson and to call the games, or are you in Houston?
No, since 2021, I haven't called the games full time.
Okay.
So I still do some stuff for U of A, but not call the games. Actually, I'm calling some games from Houston, volleyball, soccer. But for instance, this winter, I still do some stuff for them. So this winter, I went and I helped with a couple basketball games, and I called the bowl game. And so I'm still involved with Arizona athletics, but not as a full-time broadcaster anymore. So they have some great guys there, Luis and Marco and Jose Romero, who was a football player at U of A in the mid 2010s. So they have the crew still there, and they're still broadcasting in Spanish.
Okay, yeah, I know. Definitely, they broadcast in Spanish. Man, you missed a great basketball season this last season.
It was great, yeah. So I said I got to call a couple games, so it was great. Oh, actually, while in Houston, I got to call the Arizona-Houston game from Houston.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so I
Yeah.
did call it. It was a great game, but it was an amazing season. I mean,
Mhm.
Final Four. That's when you want to be in Tucson, be around everybody. The
Right.
basketball team is the talk of the town, so
Oh
that's
yeah.
why I say Tucson's a very special town.
Right. Right. Do you still have a lot of family here in Tucson?
Yeah, all my family's in Tucson. I have a sister in Phoenix, and but all my family's in Tucson. Yeah, my mom, my siblings. There's 7 of us, and so 7 Pueblo high school warriors.
Okay.
So so yeah, everybody's there. Huh?
Okay. I have another question for you. So back when you're younger and you worked for the board of supervisors and you're answering phones, I mean that puts you right on the front line of kind of getting to know what people wanted, what people needed, and then how the board of supervisors were going to respond to them. How do you think that helped shape you to what you're doing now?
You know what? I think that was when I turned the corner in terms of becoming a professional
Mm-hmm.
in the jobs that I did. Because as you said, I got to talk from the little league coach to the mom who had a son in jail, the sheriff I actually got a call one day, Dan Ekstrom call, and he was with Ed Pastor and on their way from Phoenix to Tucson. Is when hardly anybody had a phone in their car,
Oh yeah.
and they had President Clinton with them.
Oh wow.
So so Dan called, the next one called, and he's like, he used to call me Chito. He goes, Chito, somebody wants to talk to you. And so it was President Clinton
Oh,
with both of them on their way to Tucson. So that was pretty cool. So I got calls from, like I said, from the president all the
wow.
way
Yeah.
to someone who had wanted a street repair.
Mm-hmm.
So it shaped me a lot, and and it was a hard period in the county. There was a lot of controversy there,
Right.
and I got to work very closely to look at how they work on the comprehensive plan back there for the next 100 years for Pima County, and that was actually my project for one of my classes at the U of A, because I was so close to it,
Uh-huh.
and so and by answering phones, I can't do it anymore. But if you would tell me the main intersections of your house, I could tell you what district you lived in.
Oh.
I can't do it anymore.
Right.
But district 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I got to see how all the supervisors really, I mean, as much as people don't like elected officials or they like them or not,
Mhm.
all 5 of them really worked hard for the people. I
Right.
mean, it doesn't matter what party it was. They really work hard. I mean, you can criticize them as much as you can, but if you're not there, you really don't know what they do.
Yeah.
And when I was there, all 5 of them fought for their districts, fought for their people, for their projects, and so it was a schooling in itself working there.
Yeah. Yeah. You had that inside scoop on everything.
Yes, I did. It was
All
pretty
right.
neat.
When's the next Houston Astros game?
Tonight we face the Minnesota Twins.
Okay.
So you can listen to our games in Spanish on the MLB app, MLB at bat, and so you can always choose English or Spanish. You can even put the game on the screen and choose the audio, whichever audio you want. So that's our baseball is nonstop. Baseball is not a job; it's a lifestyle, and so it's 162 games in 6 months out of the year. I only get like 17 days off, never on a weekend, never 2 days in a row,
Oh wow.
except during the All-Star break. Yeah, so it's every day.
It is. Well, Francisco,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure.
Before I go, let me
Yeah.
show you my World Series rings.
Oh yeah, please.
This is the one where the Dodger fans are not gonna like this, but this is where when we beat the Dodgers in 2017,
Oh wow, that's cool.
and it's personalized.
Very nice.
So a lot of details on the ring,
Yeah, that's
and so
beautiful.
it's pretty neat. That's 2017 right there. And then I'll show you the 2022 ring, which we beat the Phillies that time, and so this one has over 600 diamonds in it.
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's
beautiful.
that's my last name right there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's a beautiful ring. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So yeah, and then I have two more that are the league championship rings. They're not as big as the other two, but here are the other two rings that for winning the American League.
Okay. Yep.
So and the rings have look it up if you have an interest in on YouTube, and it tells you about all the details about the ring. So it's pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
There's a history. There's a history there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you earned those. I mean, you put in a lot of hard work.
Yeah, not at first base or second, but behind the mic, we had a lot of fun doing it.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you again so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for
we'd
inviting
love
me.
to have you on again sometime.
Yeah, anytime you let me know, and it'll be my pleasure to be with you guys.
All right. Sounds good. All right.
Thank you. Okay, we'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Episode of Southwest Flavor. Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. We will see you later this week.